It's a great day, and today we're going to talk to Michelle Minik from Team Minik in Goodyear, Arizona. And in this episode, she's the co-founder of Team Minik and one of Arizona's top real estate professionals with over 1,500 clients and nearly 355 million in sales volume. So Michelle's success story is built on resilience. From what I've talked to her and everything, leadership is key there and a passion for empowering others. So today we're going to talk with Michelle, and she's going to give us a little bit about her success and all the great things that they're doing there. How are you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, your journey spans a little while. Couple of decades, right? And so, what inspired you to get into the business originally, and what's kept you in the game all these years? And it's been tough. There's been some up and downs.
So it's actually been 25 years, believe it or not.
Yeah. Uh,
Sorry about that. Yeah,
did you start when you were
25
10?
years. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, no,
Right.
it's funny because I actually mark that with my anniversary of when I met my husband in real estate. So I can always know how long we've been together based on my career.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's why I started. I'll be honest with you. I have a high school diploma and I went to a little bit of college and I was like, no, like not for me, wasn't into it.
I can relate. I can
And
definitely relate. Yep.
guess where I moved though, Mark?
Where?
After I got out of high school, I
Where
moved
is
to
that?
Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah.
my story is very similar. I moved from Sacramento to Colorado, but
Oh,
spent a lot of time in Arizona. But yeah, my story is the same. Some high school or high school and some college. Tell me more about that because I see that so much with entrepreneurs and business owners.
yeah, I am not one to want to sit behind the desk all the time. I get ants in my pants, I guess you would call it, where I have to be with people, in front of people in the field. And so when I moved to Colorado, I was working multiple jobs because I had no money.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Broke as a joke and 19 years old. And I stumbled upon a job up in Snowmass, Colorado, and it was kind of like a concierge style job, and it was working for the property management company at one of the biggest real estate companies there. And I used to haul bags for the rich and the famous, and I'd bring them to their chateaus and their
Yeah.
I remember these two big Australian guys that I had to drive from the airport, go and bring them up to their amazing property. And I was such a little tiny squirt of a girl, and I would haul all of their ski gear, and it's snowing out while they're going to go have their champagne. And I thought, man, like what a life, right? So um that's kind of how I was introduced to real estate.
Sure.
I worked in a strip mall there, and so I would sit there. The window was facing the mountain, okay, and the real estate agents that were on the resale or not on the property management side. So we had resale or
Right. And property management. Sure. Yeah.
that's right. I
Yeah.
would watch them ski down off the mountain. They would be in their bibs, and then they would dress in their suits, and then they would go out and show real estate. And I was like, what? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, get me in on this. So it was kind of like a no brainer at that time because I saw what the lifestyle was and I wanted
Yeah.
that so bad.
Yeah. The lifestyle was a big driver for me, to be successful and all. I think it's a common theme, with especially in real estate. I've met so many successful folks that have a very similar story. So that's really cool. Um, you and I were talking, family is so big for you guys, and you're known for your family style culture and incredibly loyal client base and all. Um, Talk to me a little bit about the core values and systems that keep the team thriving, the people coming back. And I know your family is heavily involved in your business. So talk about that for me.
Yeah, my you'll see behind me on my sign. I know people are listening to this, they're not actually watching it, but
Oh
my
no, we got video as well.
oh,
So
you got video? Okay, cool. Well, here it
yeah,
is, right behind you.
yeah.
So it's always moving forward. I incorporate that into my life, my business, my family, and what that essentially means when we talk about core values is real estate is very emotional. It is very, very hard for a
Yeah.
lot of people. It's called change, and when you have to make change in your life, in your business, with your home, which is one of the biggest, death, marriage, babies, whatever it is, it's really hard to do it by yourself. And if we're always trying to push forward to get past those challenges, that's where I feel like we super connect with our clients, because I think that we can relate, right? We can
Yep.
relate on levels that I don't think a lot of people do. It's not transactional. It's just not a transactional style business model. It is emotional. It is personal. It
Hmm.
takes a lot of guts and bravery to make moves like this, whether you're buying the last home you ever will own or the first house you'll ever own, or your dream home or your retirement home. And so with that, it comes with trust.
Yep.
If you don't trust the person that is representing you, and we all say it, the biggest transaction you'll make in your life, I mean, unless we're buying jets or
Yeah. Crazy big things. Yeah.
right. So, but it's
Toys.
home. It's your home, right? Even
Yeah.
investment, as much as investors are, I work a lot with investors. It's financial, emotional investment for somebody that they have to trust that it's a right place and space for them to get that return on their money. So, when we talk about family values, I think it ties in totally when it comes to your work values, because
Hmm.
how we treat our clients is like family. And my team here, I have a hand picked my team. Some of them actually were my past clients.
That's
Some
cool.
are as young as 20 years old, and some are in their late 60s or early 60s. And but they are all have the same quality, and that is the intimacy and support that they give their clients. And that's my style. That's the culture here. People
I
can
love
come
that.
into my office and sit down and have a cup of coffee and feel like they're at home, and that's important. I mean, it's
I think that's so important. As you said, I've met a lot of real estate agents and that do treat it more as a transaction, and they don't treat it as you're truly serving these people. And there's a lot of emotion, as you said, and trust. And it's I love the idea that they can come in and relax and feel like they're at home with you.
yeah, it's important to me that every agent serves the client like it was their own family member, mother, father, sister, brother. Because actually, I shouldn't say that, because I do have some agents that work with their family and it's horrendous.
Yeah.
But you know how that goes, don't you, Mark? I mean, yeah, working.
Some of my toughest clients are the family members, because they have my cell phone. And it's like, 10 o'clock on a Sunday. Hey, can I change this or that or whatever? And I'm like, oh, come on, call me, you know.
This is not working hours. Like,
Right.
you want to invite me over for dinner? I'm good, but
Yep. But no, yeah, yeah, family can be tough at times, friends, but we turn most of our customers into friends and
that's
family.
right.
You know, we really like to have that heart of a teacher, which, it sounds like you guys kind of really are good at coaching people along and understanding, hey, this is a big decision. And the emotion side of it and helping manage that, that's incredible.
Yeah, I love that part of the business though. I'm a junkie when it comes to that. I just want to be like, okay, I have purpose. I really help this person through. I'll get people, they're so upset, they're yelling, they're screaming. I'm like, it's okay. I'm like, and then at the end, they're like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, not the first time, won't be the last time.
No, you guys have done a lot of transactions, so no, it's not your first rodeo.
No.
Talk about your family. I know your husband's involved, your children. Talk about that.
Yeah, so my husband and I actually, I told you I met him in real estate.
Yep.
He worked at a company that I just started at, and um, he was really heavy into sales. And over time, it just didn't, he wasn't happy with it. So
Hmm.
really converted into doing property management and trying to not have to be so involved in that emotional side of things. That's just not for him. I mean, he's like, we're going to look at three houses, you're going to pick one. I won't take your listing unless you price it correctly. I mean, it's funny because like I laugh at him all the time. I remember the first open house I did, it was with him. And he was sitting on the couch. I showed up and I'm putting all the signs out and I'm getting all excited because I'd never done this before. And
Sure, sure.
I'm
Yeah.
ready to go to town, and I go in and he's got his laptop out, he's sitting on the couch and people are walking in, he's like, there's a flyer. And just like walks in, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, who
So
are
nonchalant, just like, hey, if you want to buy it, great. If you don't, you don't.
you? And of course I was complete opposite. So I love that he does what he does. He works in the vacation rental arena. He's really big
Nice.
into that. And then obviously investing in property and then helping others grow financially with through real estate, right?
Hmm.
But then my son Xander, who just turned 21 in August, he'll be 22 coming up. My God, uh, summer's right around the corner. That's what we
Yes,
always
it is.
say here in Arizona. It's like your winter. You're waiting for your snow. Um, so he is a year in, actually, as of this month, and he amazes me because he works side by side with me and he loves working with me. And of course your kid, I mean your family, man.
Yep. Yep.
There's it's before this period of time, they don't like you at all. And so he took off for a year. He did the couch surfing thing and working at the restaurant and all the stuff that we did. And
Yep.
he ends up coming back because he was like, I don't want to go to college. It's like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Because I was like, you have whatever option you want. Your dad, Joel's family, all college grads. His mom was a valedictorian. His dad played for Michigan Tech. I mean, like really heavy into college. Joel went to
Yeah.
John Carroll University, and then there's me.
The
and
rebel
and yeah, and so
as far as education goes.
exactly. Xander didn't want to do it, and he decided after that year he came back in and he was like, "I'm ready," and it's been full steam ahead. He's had some lulls where he gets down, and of course, I mean, you're 21. I mean, I think we could think that far back, but how hard was that to be accepted when you're doing business at that age to prove yourself? I remember that
Yeah.
feeling. So
Yep.
I love watching that. I love watching that. And then I have a 23-year-old son. His name is Jaden. And Jaden actually was hit by a truck when he was 15, and he suffered a severe traumatic brain injury. And he has been
Wow.
rehabbing for it's going to be 8 years in
Wow.
August. And Jaden came home on a stretcher and he could only blink to communicate. That's how like life changing that was for him. And he has worked so hard because they told him he would basically be like that the rest of his life. And so now
Wow.
what we've done with Jaden, which is always moving forward too, is we have him in every kind of thing that we could possibly think of. He works out 7 days a week, three times the or sorry, 4 to 6 hours a day, trying to gain his independence back, trying to learn to use a fork. And I mean, he couldn't
Wow.
even breathe on his own. He had the feeding to, he had everything. I mean, if I showed you pictures, Mark, you'd just be like, oh my God, we lived in the hospital for 3 months. It was a nightmare.
Sure. Yeah.
But Jaden's attitude, this no quit attitude, is such a driving force, not just for myself, not just for my family, but for this team. And actually, I would even say for this community. It was like shots heard around the world when that had happened to Jaden.
Yeah.
And I think it's been such an inspiration to see that he's a fighter and he'll never going to give up. So I feel so blessed because I have my son still. He has challenges. He's got a lot of things. He's got a long road to hoe,
Yeah.
but that is what I get up for every morning. I mean, just to look at him and give him a big hug and kiss and send him on his day. And, I'll be honest with you, those kids, I could not be more proud. I couldn't. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
blessed.
Well, when you were telling me about that, think about how many people, Jaden's sitting there working out, would you say 7 days a week, 4 to 6 hours a day?
Yeah.
There's very few people that are willing to stick to anything. And, it's just amazing his wherewithal to keep up that attitude, and it inspires the whole team. Like you said, it's so exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's truly a blessing that he can help you guys that way.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Um, well, some exciting stuff there, and some inspirational stuff. So love having the family involved. My wife and a brother are involved in the business here. So, sometimes it can be good, sometimes not so good, but I'm glad you guys are doing great with it.
Thank you.
Um, I saw something where pretty prestigious. Your team, Team Minik, was ranked number 7 as one of the best Arizona businesses this last year. Talk talk to us about that. How do you guys accomplish such a prestigious award? I mean, tell
Well,
us more about it. There's a lot. The book is like this big, right? Of
massive.
all the
It looks
of
like
all the.
an old phone book if anybody remembers what they look like. They're this fat, and you have to like find the real estate section, and they tell you what page to go to. So I'm like trying to filter through, and I found the number 7 ranking, and I thought, holy moly, how do we do it? We do it together, right? Yes, I do. I am the squawker on yeah, as the team leader, the
Mhm.
motivator, we got to get into this office. We're low on listings. We need more buyers. We need to help more people. We have all the resources. We have all the tools to do it. We've got to get to work. We're not employed as most people are. You're an unemployed independent contractor. And if you don't have employment, we're out of business. So we work tirelessly on getting that connection, getting those relationships going, following up. We have several different systems that we use here to assist the agents. And, we have what's called Commissions Inc. or Sync is one of our contact management system. And then we also have a accountability tracker, which is also our transaction management system. Because I love this so much, I can track all the conversations somebody has, how many appointments they set, how many they met, how many they got under contract, and how many they closed. So
I
we
love
look
that.
at a lot of metrics on our
Yeah.
team. Where are we at? And we're always going, okay, did we do good? What's coming up? You have to measure yourself in this business. Teams are dominating the solo agent. It's just the
Hmm.
way it's going. And I personally, I would say half of my career, I was an independent agent. Less than half, I should say. I don't even know how I did it all. I was the marketing rep. I did all my transaction management. The IT person. I mean, you name it.
Did it all right. Yeah.
Right. So on my team, I have it all for them. They come in and they're there to be with the people. So they've got marketing, they've got transaction management, they've got team leaders, they have an operations manager. They're not sitting on the phone with IT for an hour trying to figure out why this isn't working. They are truly in a position to be the best they can be. Um, so that's why I kind of feel like we run a really good ship here. We have a lot of fun. We're really loud. There's some, there's some cursing that goes on in my office. I'm just gonna tell you. Okay. That
No, no, no curse buckets for dollar bills.
Oh, I'd be such a rich woman. I would not even have to sell real estate in my office. but it's a passionate group. I always say when I meet agents that want to work on a team, or they're looking at my team, seeing if it's a good fit for them. I say to them, I don't want anybody not to be themselves here. Come as you are.
I love
Be that
that.
authentic self, because it's so hard. I remember, do you remember, Mark, when you started just in your business, how you had to pretend to be somebody else so they do business with you?
Too many times. And then sometimes it backfire on you, right? Because then you're not really being yourself. So you're stressed out or you just didn't remember everything. Yeah. I
Yeah,
love being myself, and our core value here, number one, is treat other people the way you want to be treated. And so it's, we just exude that here. And yeah, I don't like to pretend.
no. And I
It's
think that's where I went wrong when I first started in real estate, because so people around me, they were making so much money. I mean,
sure.
I had friends that were like dentists and doctors, and these are people that like my brother went to school with. Like, so the people I was around, I was like down here. And
Hmm.
they all were buying all these houses and nice cars, and I'm like barely making ends meet. And so I would have to I would have to grovel, like, in what I want to instill in my agents, especially my young people out there, is that self-respect and self-confidence. And so I help bring those tools to them by showing them how to speak to people, showing them how to be respectful, but also to be respected.
Yeah.
And if I could have fast forward that part, it would have been so much further. But back then, I mean, you don't have all the wonderful things we have now in our business.
Yeah. And, I know you're huge on coaching and helping your team. We've talked about that and I've seen it on your website. I've seen all that. Having a mentor is key. You mentioned that you have some of the younger folks in the office and they need to look up to a true leader and learn from us. It's, I don't know, as kids, especially the culture right now pulls them in so many different ways. They all want to be YouTube influencers. And, it's like, I'm sorry, only, 0.1% of the population get to do that. So, that's one thing that we do heavily here. And I know you guys do because we talked about it, but tons and tons of mentoring and coaching. So I love that.
I find that that's an interesting topic, because I feel like those people who are these influencers, the people that are standing behind the camera, feel socially awkward when it comes to a face to face. And I have that conversation with a
I've
lot of.
seen that. Yeah,
And what think when I'm looking for talent, I was on I always do my interviews. Like, if an agent wants to join my team, I do it, virtually, because I don't want them in my office unless I know we're going to be spending more time together, right? So
sure.
I met this girl. This was a couple of days ago. She blew my doors off. 20 years old, shows up with the biggest smile. So her posture was unbelievable. This beautiful curly hair, and just was like so pumped up. I felt her energy through the camera, like before she even spoke.
That's amazing.
And when I was done with that interview, I mean, I was blown away at her passion, her way to express and relate and communicate. It is tough to do that at age 20, 20
Sure.
years old.
Yeah.
That is the type of talent that I am looking for, because I was like, what are you afraid of? And which is a total normal answer, which is putting my foot in my mouth or saying the wrong thing or guiding the people the wrong way. And I said, well, how do you think you're going to learn if you don't do that? And she goes, exactly. So I guess I'm not afraid of that. And I was like, what? Like, that's what I wanted to hear. It's like to go through the flames, right? To know
Yeah.
you're going to fail, you're going to be embarrassed, and then you're never going to do that again. you know?
Yeah. We teach look forward to failure, and we teach launch, fail, learn, fix. And so launch means you got to have activity. You got to try.
Yeah.
And then when you fail, you learn from it. Even if it's not an F score fail, if it's just a B, improve
Yep.
and get better, constant improvement. I love that. All right, I'm going to wrap up with one other question for you. And what is probably one of your strangest transactions that you can remember?
Oh,
Don't
I
let's not
might
name
not.
names or anything else.
Okay, so do you know any strange ones we get? I would say one of the strangest transactions that I had was it wasn't mine personally. I was working with one of the agents on it. She met these people in the post office. She was actually doing mailers for a listing and
Okay.
trying to get some business that way. And the post office master lady was saying how she needs a real estate agent because she was asking about the package. And the lady behind the agent had said, I need a real estate agent. And so it was like, wow, like how amazing is this? How amazing is this? Well, turns out that she starts working with these people, and the people end up being like the biggest potheads like on the planet. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
I had to go with her to the listing because she could not get them to clean the house up and to do all this stuff. When I get there, they're smoking the big joints and doing all this stuff. Like, I have nothing against that. I'm not
Right.
not a problem, not a problem.
It was
But
perfect for the right clientele.
right, right. So, but the problem was is they couldn't motivate to do anything, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was like, how do we get them from point A to point B because they've got to move? Well, they end up we end up getting their house under contract eventually. It took a lot. I had a professional house cleaner go there, get it all ready, the photos, all that stuff. It took a while to get them under contract. We get them under contract, and all of a sudden, they've got seller's remorse. They don't want to sell
Oh no.
anymore.
Oh no.
They don't want to sell anymore. Now, in a transaction, the buyer can cancel, but the seller can't cancel because
Yeah.
there's legal implications on it.
Right. Yeah.
They did not sell their house. They didn't care. They were like, we're not selling. That's it. Take the sign out of the yard.
Oh my
I
gosh.
never had that happen. Guess what happened to them?
What
Nothing.
happened?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. There was no repercussions at all. So I thought, what
They were
a
fortunate that
they were
the
very
buyer did not take action.
the buyer could have sued for specific performance, but I think at this point they were so turned off that they were like, this is a bad. But I thought, oh my God, I've never seen it before. Now I've seen seller's remorse, but not, we've been able to get through that. It didn't matter what I said. They were like, nope, lose my number. And I'm like, what is happening? It was like they woke up out of being stoned.
Or maybe they just
We
maybe
were
they
so
smoked a little bit more that day. Who knows? They're like, hey, it's too much work to leave.
I think that might have been it, Mark. I do.
Right. Or they never went to look for another place. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right. Well, thank you for spending some time with us. Best way to reach you,
Yeah,
teamminik.com. Um,
teamminik.com. It's as easy as that. Yeah,
yeah,
go
then you can
there.
reach out and contact the whole team there. Check out the website. You guys do some great work there in the Goodyear and the whole valley, really, though, right?
Yeah, we're mainly we are all over the valley, but we are in the Southwest Valley, which is going to be Goodyear, Litchfield Park, Buckeye, Surprise, like that area. But
Really
we do
growing
I
fast
have
out there.
agents all over the valley that do great work all over. But it's a great place for you to like a second home, vacation rental. Lots of golfing, lots of, we were talking about that earlier, lots of
Yeah.
trail riding, tons of hiking. Like it's a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I spent some time out there in Litchfield Park,
Yeah.
and I love that area. I love the Verado area too. The little
Baradas.
downtown over there. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully you come out and see me when you're out here again.
I will next time. It might be in the summertime, which is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go
So,
swimming.
all right. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
being on the show.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.